The ranking for the most expensive cities in the world are in, and it is a surprise to no one, I think. Boston is up there on the list. In fact, everyone, it is now in the top 5 most expensive cities in the world.
My level of shock, Colton, is off the charts. The new study factors in the cost of rent, groceries, and other expenses. We have NBC 10's Oscar Margain taking a look at the numbers, and he has the story.
What isn't expensive anymore?
Boston and cheap don't seem to add up.
Prices go up and up and up, and only the people who have money can afford to live.
Some say it's simple law of supply and demand, and boy, is Boston demanding.
Groceries, childcare, mortgage, I think those are probably things that are on pretty much everybody's mind.
For those moving to Boston, it's not easy.
I thought I was doomed. I got lucky because I had roommates before and finally found a tiny spot.
And for those in Boston, it's getting harder to stay here.
I'm from Boston. I want him to be raised in Boston, but it was difficult for the first year.
The city on the hill sitting on the top 5 most expensive places to live in the world, according to Numbeo, after a few cities in Switzerland, New York, and San Francisco.
This is something that's been well known, at least in the housing field.
Chris Norris from Metro Housing Boston says housing here typically eats up most budgets. And when the supply is not keeping up, those who are being squeezed out are the ones needing most help.
We had this problem before the pandemic. We had this problem before folks raised the issue of migrants, and we will continue to have it unless we take steps to increase the supply of housing that's available for families that have extremely low incomes.
Numbeo estimates the monthly cost to live in Boston for a family of 4 to be roughly $5,300 without rent and $1,400 for a single person. On the brighter side, Boston is about 12% less expensive than New York City, and rent being about 29% lower. For those living and visiting the hub, the charm and quality of life here are worth every penny.
Is it expensive? Of course. Is it a lovely city? Absolutely.
For a city that prides itself for topping all sorts of rankings, this is one that housing advocates are just not too thrilled about. Metro Housing Boston says it continues to work with the state to try to help those at the bottom with vouchers and credits and be able to afford to live in this beautiful city. Reporting in Boston, Oscar Margain, NBC 10 Boston.